What is up, my little Danos? Vepsisi, your coach of the Helsinki REGICE, and we are here for the PPL Season 2 Week 4 battle when I go up against JV. And it's been a while that I got to play him. I remember the recent battles that we have had in Generation 8 has been very close, and I expect to be one of those yet again. He has a very threatening team, as it seems to be like for everybody that I have been playing this season thus far, and this week is no different from that. And we're gonna be going briefly his Terra captains and remind myself as well, if in case you need to. So from his side, he has Porygon C as one of his Terra captains with Terra Normal, Ghost and Fighting. The second Terra captain, he has his Bombardier with Terra Dark, Rock and Fairy. For my end, as a reminder, it's going to be Noivern with Terra Flying, Normal and Fairy. And REGICE, who is actually coming this week, making its debut, has Terra Ice, Water and Steel as its potential Terra types that I can be running. So this week, like I said, I'm gonna be bringing REGICE, which is going to be its debut. And unfortunately as well, it's farewell, because going to week 5, I have done transactions. Couple of small ones, like there are gonna be 2 Pokemon, being Breloom and REGICE, that I'm gonna be moving away and adding 3 different Pokemon to my roster. And I will be also changing Noivern's Terra Fairy to Terra Fire, starting from next week in itself. But we're gonna be covering that also a little briefly on the next week's upload, starting before the team builder section for week 5. So we're gonna be coming back to that point, but I just wanted to mention it so that this week will feel even more meaningful to bring our REGICE for its debut, because we know it's gonna be, unfortunately, its farewell as well. But I have a lot of hope and belief. REGICE has a great chance to help us win this week, because we are gonna be running Assault Vest Terra Water REGICE, not Terra Steel. That would be very likely an obvious choice here versus things like Latias and Climora and whatnot. But I like to be Terra Water, so then I'm not vulnerable to things like Infernape, Great Tusk, Porygon C if it chooses to be Terra Fighting, for example, which would 2-hit KO like a Terra Steel REGICE, or has a chance to do 40% to me, and then obviously hazards could come into play, and or any kind of chip damage or whatnot. So I went with the Terra Water just to give me a nice, bulky typing that he won't have too much super effective coverage to run on, and with the Assault Vest and our massive speed F stat, we should be taking hits like nothing for things like Latias and the Porygon C or Climora, whatever has to be on the special attacking side. And thanks to Clear Body, it's gonna be also nullifying any kind of effects from like Mist Ball from Latias or Shadow Ball from Porygon C, which is really nice. And then we have Bolt Beam, as in Ice Beam and Thunderbolt as well, our first 2 moves. I had Terra Blast, Water, which is also really nice with the little special attack investment that we are packing to punish a potential aggressive Infernape swapping into my REGICE before he knows my Terra type, for example, on the moment. And with that, I can put it in a range of Rocky Helmet that my Roto-Was is going to be carrying, which we are going to be covering next. So combined damage of Terra Blast Water into Rocky Helmet from Roto-Was should take out the Infernape, which would be a really nice and effective way to get rid of that thing, because it's been actually his MVP thus far when it comes to how many kills he has been able to get with the Infernape. And then we have Charge Beam as our last ditch effort move, just to give us a chance to raise our special attack if I see a situation that I would need to do that, making sure that we are not set up fodder for anything particularly. So next one that we have is a very straightforward Roto-Was, of course, because that's the Roto-Was. It's always going to be pretty straightforward by itself. This week running Rocky Helmet again for things like Infernape, Great Tusk, Feraligatr, the physical attackers essentially that would be beneficial for me to get any kind of chip damage on as they are attacking me. And then I have standard moves, Volt Switch, Hydro Pump and Pain Split, and the status move that I chose to go this week is gonna be Thunder Wave for Latias, because I think that's the best way for me to punish the swapping, which I expect from his side, especially if he doesn't bring Iron Leaves, or even if he does. His only 2 safe swappings to Roto-Was are Iron Leaves and particularly Latias, that I expect mostly to come out of those 2. Iron Leaves could come and it can be annoying to deal with, and I had to prepare according to it with some of my members of my team to make sure that I'm covering that one as well, because it can be scary. So either way, if it's gonna be Latias or Iron Leaves, I want to paralyze them, and that's the most efficient way to handle both of them combined. I could have had Will-O-Wisp or Iron Leaves and be even more effective, but just covering both Pokemon, just paralyzing them is the most efficient status for me to go with. Then we have Casta, Berry, Gengar, Addison, Propaganda, Special, of course, we are doing this yet again. Because this actually does come in clutch yet again, in a case if I'm dealing with like a Rock Polish Glimora that my Iron Valiant cannot outpace. So as long as every member of my team, as they are, able to hit it hard initially when it's clicking Rock Polish, a Casta Berry priority that I can get and clicking with Psychic should take out the Glimora and giving myself like a safe blanket offensive check that way to the Glimora if it's trying to sweep me this week. Because that would be the one thing that I would be worried about Glimora if I do see it. Has it stacking variant, I do have Rapid Spin on threat, so I'm not too concerned about that per se. Hopefully I won't have to regret those words either way. But yeah, otherwise Gengar looking to have a very good matchup. The only thing that can realistically take this thing on, that can be annoying early game, is Empoleon. But I have Rocky Helmet or Roto was to punish any flip turns, and obviously being a very swapping in general. We have REGICE that can at least do like Charge Beam, Thunderbolts and turn into Terra Water. And then we have of course our dual ground types and our Iron Valiant that we can cover next. So hopefully we can deal with the Empoleon and get rid of it. I do have to watch out for like a Chopo Berry that could be for my Iron Valiant and Focus Blast from Gengar. If I don't see leftovers or the calcs won't say it would be a Southwest. So that's something for me to mention now and hopefully remember when the battle is happening. In an hour or so for me. And when it comes to Iron Valiant, we are running the Speed Boost variant with a physical attacking orientated with also Moonblast there, just in case for bulk up. Great task with a speed boosting variant like max HP, max speed, bulk up set will give it a +1 speed, and then he can try to snowball effect with the bulk ups and try to sweep me. But ideally in that scenario I do have Iron Valiant with Moonblast that kind of ideally finish it off in a range that it's been left at, as it's trying to set up on any of my Pokemon, which all of them again can hit it relatively hard. You're gonna see how my last two can hit it pretty hard actually, surprisingly, in some cases. And then we have Close Combat and Speed Break, obviously our main physical stabs, and Poison Jab is there to cover both Enormous Therian and also Iron Leaves. Iron Leaves I need quite a bit of chip if it's the speed boosting variant. I will do like 60% to it or something, or between 60 to 70. But ideally I should be having it in a range, so if Iron Valiant has to be used for it, then it's gonna be popping it. But I do also have stab slots away from Gengar that should be doing even more. So ideally one of these two will get me off the pins of Iron Leaves if it's gonna come into this game as a setup variant, and the other one, hopefully on this case I can preserve Gengar for Glimora if both of them show up as a setup sweeper. And then our fifth member of the team is gonna be a Gliscor with a Earthquake, Acrobatics, Fling, and Stealth Rocks. We have Fling, so I can throw away my Toxic Orb and get something Toxic, instead of just running a standard Toxic in itself, because this way I can enable to have stronger Acrobatics once I get rid of that Toxic Orb item on me, and ideally by that point when I'm clicking it I already activated for myself for my Poison Heal effect. And then I have 110 base power Flying Stab to hit things like Great Tusk and the Iron Leaves, most importantly, a little bit harder. And therefore I'm leaving myself to the point that Gliscor, once it's getting up Crocs, it can just go for Acrobatics and Earthquakes if I don't feel like sending something else in to take the hit from my opponent's side in itself, whatever he has in the field. So Gliscor doesn't feel too passive in the battle. Besides getting up Stealth Rocks, and Stealth Rocks particularly is important hazard for me in this game, because I want to get that 2 rounds of Stealth Rocks ideally on Latias to make sure that it's in a range of my Iron Valiant Spirit Break. So that's kind of like my choice of hazard this week. I was contemplating on Spikes for a longest of time, but more that I thought about it, the Stealth Rock damage on Latias is the most crucial one that I can get out of the hazards. And also, off the chance Enormous Therian is not boots, it's nice to be able to get that 25% on it, so Iron Valiant can deal with it a lot easier later on. Because I do expect the Enormous Therian to come versus this game, because Iron Valiant is obviously such a huge threat. And that's his best response to it. And then, probably, the set that I'm also, besides REGICE of course, being able to bring it most excited for, if I can play this accordingly, as I like it to. And this is gonna be my mid-game breaker, as well as my hazard remover in a pinch if I have to, but my, kinda like my lure way to get rid of things like Great Tusk or just wall break his team, cause Steel and Crown actually looks pretty nice versus his team. But unfortunately, because he has Great Tusk, I cannot really utilize the physical attacks that are iron threats that effectively, because it's gonna eat those hits up easily, even if I'm at +2 in a similar set but swap into physical. So we are running weakness policy iron threats with a special set with Earth Power, Steel Beam, Rapid Spin and Iron Defense. Iron Defense is here to make sure that as long as Great Tusk is not faster than me, I can go for Iron Defense as he's going for like close combat or ground move or which have you. And then I'm eating the hit very easily and it's gonna proc my weakness policy. After that, depending on the health or if I have any suspicion that it's Assault Vest or not, I can pop it up with a Earth Power, or best case or worst case scenario, I guess I can go for always for Steel Beam. And the way I've invested this guy, I should be at, while I'm at full, take one stab from Great Tusk, like a super effective stab, as long as it's not boosted item in any way or boost energy attack. And I can afford to go for Steel Beam once and still get another hit off later. So let's say I'm +1 speed, I go for Steel Beam, Great Tusk is dead. Ideal situation is that I'm still alive after the exchange with Great Tusk, and then I'm at +1 speed, and unless there's not a choice card for like Ladia still around that is not being paralyzed by my Rotom, I can still get another big hit off with this guy, with either being the Earth Power or the Steel Beam. So it's gonna be a mid-game breaker that I bank on this week to open the door for my Gengar and my Iron Valiant to sweep in the later game, because ideally I don't have to use Iron Valiant's booster energy too early, and my Casta Berry Gengar might be a failsafe for some setup sweeper that he may bring that I have to be dealing with. So Iron Threats has the mid-game breaking role, and our lead and our defensive backbone is gonna be basically Rotowa's REGICE Water and Gliscor in itself, that hopefully can provide some chip damage along the way to help us to win this game. So let's go and see how this battle is gonna be turning out. Alright, here we are with the battle versus JV, and let's see what 6 Pokemon he decides to bring. I'm nervous, but I have a belief that the team that I've assembled this week, with the help of Addison of course, should be giving me a chance to win. So we'll just have to see. We are connected with Jay, so let's see what we see. We see Enormous of course, which is going to be the Iron Valiant answer. We see Feraligatr. We see Porygon C. We see Great Tusk, of course. Porygon C is the Terramon that we have to be cautious of, or myself at this point, which can be Terra Normal, Fighting and Ghost. And then we have Glimora, Latias. Rotowas needs to handle the Feraligatr for me this week, so I definitely need to preserve it for that. But I think my lead of choice would still be actually the Rotowas, because if I see something like Great Tusk as a lead, I can Thunder Wave it. If I see like a Latias or Porygon C, I have a swapping to those. Glimora, if I would see as a lead, I guess it could be the Hazard Setting lead, which I would have to be cautious of. But yeah, I think I'll rock with this and see what he does on his behalf. So Porygon C or Latias, I would expect one of them to be a choice card, which I have to identify. Glimora would either be Power Meteor Beam Rock Poly set, or it's gonna be probably some sort of Hazard Setter. Maybe a Reducing Berry, like Psychic Reducing Berry could also be a thing. Enormous could be a lot of things. It could be Assault Vest, it could be some sort of Reducing Berry, it could be Heavy Duty Boots. It could also be Weakness Policy as well. Well, let's see what he leads with. He leads with the Latias, okay. So, On the lead scenario, this is not something I want to be in versus, so I would have to go into my red sea ice on this. And my red sea ice is here. Before I click it, I will just put my calc ready to go, so maybe I get some intel on this Latias set. That ready to go, so let's just swap into our red sea ice, which, at least on this case, I do get to Terralize early, so I don't have to worry about taking more from Stealth Rocks. But we go into our red sea ice, and let's see what he does. He does go for the Aura Sphere right away, which doesn't do a whole lot. Even as a super effective hit, which is really funny. That's not boosting item. Okay. So from his behalf, what he would even swap in on this? I will Terralize for sure. He could have Feraricator as a swapping, he could have... I don't think Great Tusk would want to swap into Ice Beam. He could go into Climora, which I would love to Terra Blast. But I think I can also just Thunderbolt the Feraricator. I could Charge Beam as well. Terra Blast Water on Climora. That's what my god is telling to. He can do Feraricator as well, but something tells me Climora could be the swap in here. I don't expect at least him to stay in. I think he's forced to swap out. He might like flip turn up. Well, bottom pass I think is the one. He's agility on it. Okay, so he's probably like weakness policy on it then. So I get to scout this. And I will do decent damage to it. Okay. So now I will Charge Beam up to the point that weakness policy would take... I would take it out. I will just Charge Beam here. So this is definitely weakness policy Latias then with Aura Sphere and agility. So I'm glad I didn't bring click Ice Beam right away, because clearly he had a idea of breaking me early. But now with thanks to a Charge Beam, and he could think that I could Ice Beam any turn, he will be less inclined to swap into the Iron Attack. That will do absolutely nothing to me. I'll just Charge Beam up. Can we get the boost? We get the boost. Red Sea Ice is all boosted up. He has a hat on. Okay. So now we are at +1. So I could go for another one. And then Ice Beam. So I think I'll click once more, then I Ice Beam. He does agility again. As we Charge Beam up. We get another boost, so now we are at +2. Red Sea Ice moment, baby. Even if you're like max HP, I do now 91% to you. Surely this would kill, right? I wanna say this kills, so now we Ice Beam. He has Thought Powered on it. Let's just kill it. Come on, Red Sea Ice, kill him! Yes, let's go, Red Sea Ice! There we go! You beat the Latias right from the get-go, and we... After I tear up, I didn't think at first this would be the weakness policy, obviously you can tell from my commentary, but I'm glad that I was initially thinking he would swap. Because once he clicked the agility, I'm like, okay, you have fucking... I can smell that across the pond from US, that was weakness policy. Okay, yeah, now we are +2 and we have a pretty high amount of health on this guy. So he's in a tough spot. Oh my god. Yeah, I'm so happy, Red Sea Ice. You're getting to perform, hopefully at your absolute best on your debut, and unfortunately farewell. But what a farewell we can cook up here for you. I really want you to do well, but I cannot get over it, guy. I need to temper myself, don't get overly flustered here. But we are +2 and we are pretty healthy, so if anybody should be flustered, it is JV right now. What do you do, buddy? What do you do against my Red Sea Goat, the Red Sea Ice with Terra Water? Is that Porygon C? Oh, this is my check to you, buddy. I get to click Ice Beam again. This is a +2 Ice Beam coming into your way. Eat this shit, buddy. Oh, I'm so happy with this. I'm so happy that I get to bring Red Sea Ice, because I'm sure there are a lot of you who saw me drafting this thing and thinking, oh, he got to Terralize it, hopefully he gets to bring one of these weeks. This is the week. This is the moment. Oh my god. It's been a while that I've been this excited for it. Last time I was this excited about it was a Choice Banded Acro that I got to bring into UPPA. And now, Red Sea Ice. Terra Ice, look at that hat. Highlight the hat. Look at the king with his crown. My play is very simple. He terrorizes, of course. What Terra type are you? That is important to pay attention. Are you Terra normal? That is Terra normal, I think. Okay. Which means that close combat will be able to knock this thing out. But this will do a lot, because now it's a little bit stronger than before. Okay. And now we get up a nice Ice Beam. We get burned, but that's probably the best case scenario that if any status, that would be it. So I'll take that. And +2 Ice Beam, baby. Oh my god, it almost killed it. Oh my god. King. King Red Sea Ice, baby. And now I just Thunderbolt just to cover anything else. You're not swapping into Great Tusk on this. Yeah, I'll Thunderbolt. That kills anyways. Or you're swapping into Peace Be Fair, Alligator. Tricky. Oh, eat this Thunderbolt, buddy. +2, baby. Oh my god, it almost killed it. Red Sea Ice. Red Sea Ice is actually killing it today. What a king. We are preserving you. You deserve to be preserved. We go into a Rocky Helmet Roto Wasu. Intentfully was Rocky Helmet for things like this, but it was like thinking like maybe Infernape would be swapping to that hit. But holy shit. Oh, you Trailblaze. That's gonna do a lot, but you're fucking dead. You get that shit out of here. You think you're gonna be swapping into my Red Sea Ice freely? Think again, buddy. I am so hyped for this. You've never seen me this hyped before. This is gonna be one of a million videos on my channel that you see the Finnish bald guy showing emotion. And what does it take? Our Red Sea Ice doing the fucking work today. Let's go. Oh my god. Okay, Ferrari Gator is dead. Porygon C, I know is Terra normal. And I think that is Choice Scarf, which is the reason he's preserving it. Because I don't see why you would preserve it otherwise. I'll put it like 20% maybe. Oh, well, never mind, it's like less. That's like, what, 10% I would say? Okay. So, when it comes to this, honestly, it might just be Red Sea Ice letting to go down, because after that I get a free Gengar. Right? Yeah, I think so. Because I'm burned. I'm sorry, Red Sea Ice, that I have to do this to you, but you did absolute work. And now we're gonna make sure that that work doesn't go into waste. But who knows, depending on how much is this doing anyway. Maybe we live this. Nah, we don't take 2. Especially after burn, we don't take 2. But it just gives me a free Red Sea Ice to turn after, which I'm fine. It gives me a free Gengar, I should say. Because even if you're like a Southwest or what have, and like obviously there was plenty of turns for Castaberry to proc if he had it. So, thank you Red Sea Ice. Holy shit, did you do the absolute work. And now we're just gonna make sure that it doesn't go into waste. We go Gengar here. And honestly, at this point I can click Psychic freely. I'm pretty sure Psychic kills this or anything in the back will take a hit. Pretty hard, except for Enormous, which I don't think he will swap into. Right? This, I'm gonna call just to make sure that if this is like max HP Porygon C, that is not choice, then he's sacking it. Psychic is killing this, right? I'm doing like 33% to it, so we are just clicking Psychic here. Yeah, he has to withdraw and preserve this again. This is Choice Scarf for sure. Who are you? Glimora. Oh, I'll two-shot you unless you're like a Southwest. That actually might... Oh, that's just very Spadef. Is that like Spadef Glimora that I'm seeing? There's no reason for me to let this thing take damage, so I'll just go into Gliscor on this. Okay. So this is like a Spadef Glimora, so it's not this setup set that I was worried about. But it's still definitely annoying because it did not I get two-shot it there. He does go for the Earth Power, so I get a free swapping into you. I think my choice is to get up Stealth Rocks, because that means that Great Tusk would have to spin. I'll get up my rocks just to make the situation to the point that either Glimora or Great Tusk would have to go for the Rapid Spin. He might go for Rapid Spin here. He has Booster Energy on it. What does it boost? This is key. Speed. So it's the Bulk Up set. It is Bulk Up, Max HP, Max Speed. So I'm gonna fling this. and get it on a timer. Yeah. We fling this to get it on a timer. So this doesn't have this probably, I would think, doesn't have room for rapid spin. Oh, it has substitute on it. Oh, I don't like that. I have to acrobatics you. Thankfully, at least, now that I flung that away, I have very strong acrobatics, so I'm breaking this up. I would think even after bulk up. I do also have Roto Wasp with the Rocky Helmet, so as long as I put it in a range of that, I should be okay. So we acrobatics this. And I wanna say it breaks, yeah. So now I need to make a calc that how much am I actually doing to that. I'm doing still 27 to it. So we're gonna click it again. Ice Spinner might take me out or might not actually. We live, let's go. We lift the hit and get a little bit damage on it. I don't think I should swap here, letting him potentially get up a substitute, because that could be a choke. Because I do have like Rocky Helmet Roto was in the back and he knows it. So I think we're gonna call this substitute play. And just let this thing go down. At worst case scenario. Then it's just a matter of how do I want to get rid of this thing. He does go for the Ice Spinner again. I'm good to proc my Valiant here. And when I say proc, as in like get my booster energy speed, and then I have Moonblast for this guy. So we go for Moonblast here. As we go for the Moonblast, and this should kill. There we go. Great Tusk is gone. Out of my hair. And now he may think I'm special and going to Climora, which would be fantastic, because I can go for a fat CC. And if the Enormous is not boots, he might actually do that, try to get a Mortal spin off. Shimmy. Did I call it? I think I called it, man. I think I called what he's trying to do. So now we see how much this is doing. Because if I'm not killing it, then I have Iron Threats as a minute. Close combat does like 56% if you're max HP. And I based on the damage before with the Psychic, I wanna say this is dead. So we're gonna go for that and it should die. Come on. Let's go! He thought I was special and thought he would lift the hit, but I'm mixed and I'm mostly actually physical attacking variant. Let's go! So now I only have enormous Therian to worry about, and versus that thing I'm not gonna proc a weakness policy or anything. So I'm actually gonna be clicking at Spirit Break just to see what he does. Is it heavy duty boots or not? It is not heavy duty boots, so I have to be cautious of weakness policy. I have to be cautious of weakness policy, so what I will do is click Spirit Break. To lower its special attack. If I die here, it's fine. I have Iron Threats to go into and Gengar. So we're gonna chip it down. It's half health. It may Training Kiss and gain a lot of it back, as it does. But I can go for this again. I'm not proccing a weakness policy. This could be another. He could have had two. One for Latias to early break, and this may have been the winning condition he was playing for. So I just keep clicking this. I don't need. The Stealth Rocks are up. The Porygon C should be dead. And after this, I can go into my Iron Threats. Or Gengar, to be honest. Either one works. We go for another one. As he goes for Training Kiss again. Okay. He could be Assault Vest on this as well, which is also annoying to worry about. So, do I just go into you and click Steel Beam? I think so, right? I can go into Gengar here and click Sludge Wave, cause unless it's Assault Vest, I kill it. And it's -2, so it cannot kill me. So I think Gengar is the play. We are doing the Gengar because I know Steel Beam has a chance to miss, so I don't want to play around with a potential miss. And I've already seen a Spedef Climora, so I want to say this is not Assault Vest. Oh, it is Assault Vest, but I live this. Yeah, we live that. That's okay. And we get a Curse Body off. Let's go, Gengar. Not that it matters. Unless it's cast tap and very spedef. Let's go for another one. Boom! Die, turtle, die! There we go. Okay, and I think the Stealth Rock should do the Porygon C. If it doesn't, I get to show off Cast Up Berry. So I'm fine either way. Throw out the Porygon C into the field. And I think it died. And it fainted. There we go. And that is going to be nice Week 4 W for your Helsinki Hydreigas. And we go 2-2. And we managed to beat JV. Go subscribe to him and check him out. He is excellent battler. Somebody who I've got to play quite a few times. Especially last generation. And they were a doozy ones just like this. But today I had a very solid prep and I felt really good about it. And REGICE! REGICE, my god. I salute you and all the little Danos out there watching. We salute you for your efforts this week. Because like I said in the team builder portion, in case you skipped that pod, unfortunately, while this was his debut, this was also his farewell. Because I dropped REGICE and Breloom for 3 different Pokemon that I'm gonna be having starting from next week. And my Noivern, we are gonna change its Terra type from Terra Fairy to Terra Fire. But I'm gonna be covering that starting on next video. Thank you so much, REGICE, for your efforts. I'm gonna do my absolute best to make sure that your efforts will not go in vain. And we are going to playoffs and see what we can do there. Thank you for watching. Make sure to check out my opponent and all the coaches in the league, because I'm sure there are gonna be fantastic battles for you to watch this week. Until next week, Week 5 versus Ricky, I'm gonna be see you guys later.